KARE TV presents the official telecast of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. Brought to you by your neighborhood Taco Bell restaurant. Hey, Twin Cities, say hello to Taco Bell.
You're looking at a live picture from downtown St. Paul, where in just a few minutes the Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade will be getting underway. Right now it's time for the people, floats, and bands taking part to get ready and make sure all is right for the big event. This parade will signal an end to the 102nd St. Paul Winter Carnival. Good evening, everybody. I'm Amy Powell.
And I'm John Stone. We're live here in Rice Park, where in just about a half an hour, things will really be heating up for the start of the Torchlight Parade.
Over the next few minutes, we're going to be showing you some of the things that go into making this parade what it is.
We'll also be taking a look back at some of the neat things from this year's Winter Carnival.
But first off, we're going to take a look at the layout for this parade.
For well over an hour, floats, bands, and royalty will make their way through downtown St. Paul. The parade starts near us here in Rice Park and heads down 4th Avenue to Market. After heading up Market, the parade route then makes a turn and goes down 6th Street. A turn is also made onto Cedar Street, where the procession will make its way to the finish at Kellogg.
This year, the Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade will have a tie with the Minneapolis Aquatennial celebration. 2 runners carrying torches left Lake Harriet around 3:30 this afternoon. Now, they are carrying symbolic flames that will be used to light up the Torchlight Parade here. They are expected to arrive a little later, and we're going to check in on their progress right now in making it to the parade. For that, we go to News 11's Asha Blake, who's along the runner's route. Asha?
Well, Amy and John, we're out here at the corner of Summit and Kellogg, and let me tell you, the runners are just coming into view right now. I think you can probably see them in your picture. Their names are Charlie and Cindy Fitzpatrick. They're from St. Paul, and let me tell you, they're dedicated because it's cold out here, and they're definitely keeping up the pace, as you can probably see. Now, they've been carrying the torch for about 13 miles. The whole run is the beginning of a new Winter Carnival tradition. The torches symbolize the last flames of summer being brought over to the Winter Carnival, and they also serve to connect the 2 torchlight parades. And there aren't any crowds out here right now. This is a new thing, but I'm sure there will be some next year. Now, after they leave us, they'll head down to Kellogg Avenue and finally arrive at the parade site, and that'll be around 7 o'clock. Then they'll light the torches there that will kick off the whole parade. That'll happen around 7 o'clock. And Melissa Young will be down there, and she'll pick up the action from there. So far, so good. I think they're down the street right now. We can't see them anymore, but they're doing well. They will be there on time. Back to you, Amy and John.
I want to stay out real close to that parade.
I would, too. What a dedicated effort that is.
Definitely.
You know, a number of beautiful floats will be seen in this year's Torchlight Parade.
In fact, some are quite elaborate, and it takes a lot of work to put them together. News 11's Kevin McDowell has more on how the parade floats came to be.
Kip Ferris has been building floats for years. He's based out of Denver, where he's done a lot of his work. This is his first Winter Carnival, and it posed a special problem.
We have the skyways to take into consideration, and we have a 15-foot high limitation.
In his warehouse in St. Paul, working with drawings and models, Ferris is creating magic. Kip says one of the first things he does when he sets out to design one of these things is think about the reaction of kids. He says he's trying to create a fantasy world that they'll always remember. And if the early stages are any indication, they're going to remember this. Most of the floats, he's working on 5, represent the winds. This, for example, will be the east wind. The grandest, though, has to be the King and Queen's float.
So it's going to be a very elegant swan, and the King and Queen will ride high on the throne. They'll be nearly 15 feet up in the air when they're going by the parade route. And then the Prime Minister is going to be sitting in the front.
This may all look rudimentary now, but tonight it comes to life, igniting the imagination on an otherwise frigid evening. In St. Paul, Kevin McDowell, News 11.
And right now, those floats are being prepared down in the staging area, which is really quite close to us.
Yeah, it is. And we're going to go to Melissa Young, who is down there right now. Melissa?
Well, Amy and John, we are with Wendell here. We're going to talk to him in a second from Jordan Ranch, and these are some Belgian horses. Now, what exactly are these horses going to be doing in the parade?
They're going to be pulling this here float right behind us. And then there's some other horses going to be pulling another float behind us, too.
Okay, now, do they mind the cold at all? I mean, I know the people here are all bundled up. They don't have much protection other than themselves.
They grow plenty of hair during the winter, so they keep warm. Yes,
Okay.
they do.
Well, thanks a lot, Wendell. You guys have a good time. Now, we should tell you that there are 5 floats this year that are going to be pulled by horses. And that is a tradition that dates back to the 1930s. Hasn't been done in a while, though. And if you saw the package, you heard about the King and Queen float. This is it right here. A beautiful float it is. And in just a matter of minutes, the King Boreas, of course, and Queen of Snows for 1988 will be sitting up here getting ready to start on the Winter Carnival Parade. A whole line of floats here, and of course they're all illuminated. That's part of the magic of the Torchlight Parade. Right behind us you can see the Princess float. That also is going to be horse-drawn this year. So it should be spectacular. 19 floats in all. 5 of them are new this year, so it should be quite an event, at least float-wise, as well, of course, the rest of the parade. John and Amy, back to you.
Okay, thanks Melissa. They really look beautiful, too, with the lights back here. We have a good view of everything all lit up and ready to go.
That's right, 6 feet high on our scaffolding. We can see some of them, and they're beautiful. There's some gorgeous ones out there. But, you know, the real stars of the Torchlight Parade are the Vulcans, the ones who symbolically bring on spring with fire and do away with cold King Boreas in the winter.
Have you ever wondered who those Vulcans are? I have. And we sent News 11's Gail Plawacki to find out.
They make a grand and noisy entrance, eliciting screams of mock terror from the crowd. But these flamboyant party crashers are quite welcome. Indeed, some say the fun only begins when they arrive. They look intimidating, and their behavior is outrageous. It's hard not to wonder, who are these guys anyway?
It will give you the most efficiency. It has unity power factor through the full speed range and has an efficiency of 96%.
Dennis Weiler is one of these guys, but when he's not dressed in red kissing pretty women, he's selling electrical equipment for the Eaton Corporation.
And we would come out of the load side of the drive to the motor.
So why does this responsible, hard-working father of 2 dress up, paint his face black, and take on the role of rascally Vulcan?
In a way, you're a celebrity, but not in that that they know it's you. I think being able to take liberties that aren't necessarily granted to anybody.
Photos covering one whole wall of Weiler's office are evidence of the affection he feels for his fellow Vulcans, and he says he feels good about their many charitable deeds. But that's not the bottom line.
It's the opportunity for people to have a good time with you. I think that's the bottom line. Have a good time with a lot of strange people that you've never met before.
You ready, guys? What's the bang? She goes in.
And do they have fun? You betcha. In St. Paul, Gail Plawacki, News 11.
It's kind of a different story when they're in uniform. You ought to run in with a Vulcan.
I shouldn't. You haven't been vulcanized yet.
Not yet. Hopefully I'm high enough that they can't get up to me.
Oh, they can get to you. I've been smeared, and you'll get it before it's over.
We shall see. There's a lot more coming your way as we get set for the start of the Torchlight Parade.
When we come back, we'll find out how marching bands prepare for the parade.
And a look at the main attraction at this year's Winter Carnival. So stay with us.
Come along and listen to the music. Open up your heart and lend an ear, you'll hear it. Come along and listen to the sounds of Tennessee. From country stars and city lights, down home days and uptown nights, history and harmony, they're all here in Tennessee. Tennessee sounds great to me. Tennessee sounds great.
Late nights say hello to Cheers.
Afternoon, everybody. No!
There's always plenty of laughs on tap at Cheers.
Say how are you today in French.
How are you today, French?
Thanks for the cold one, Sam.
You're welcome, Fraser.
The beer, I mean, not Diane.
But what kind of place is this?
It's a bar, you know. People come here to have a good time.
Yeah, and don't you just hate them for it?
For a nightly shot of comedy, it's Cheers. Weeknights at 10:35 on TV 11.
Once again, Dan Johnstone with Amy Powell here in Rice Park, and we're getting set for the start of the Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade.
That's right. The parade is set to start about 7 o'clock. That's less than 20 minutes from now. And, you know, in spite of the cold, it's going to be a great time.
It sure will. You can hear them kind of behind us down there getting ready. And part of the fun, as we said, will be all the music and marching that's included in the parade. At least 5 area marching bands will thrill spectators here in St. Paul. In addition, folks will be treated to the unique sound of an Oriental shrine band. And on top of that, there will be at least 3 drum lines in the parade as well.
And those bands don't sound like they're cold at all. They're really tuning up down there.
That's right. Alan Costantini is down in the staging area with some of the bands. Alan?
The Caledonia High School Band from Caledonia, Minnesota.
I thought, oops, did I miss
where Caledonia is. And they're going to play tonight. As you know, you might wonder, how can a band like this play when it's so cold? Well, they can do it. And let's find out from one of the trumpet players now. This is Ben Hartley. Now, Ben, you're a senior now. How are you gonna be able to touch that trumpet to your lips in this kind of weather?
Use a lot of Vaseline on the lips and on the face.
What about the valves on the instrument?
We tried with regular valve oil. It didn't work. I think we're using a mixture of antifreeze and alcohol right now.
You got antifreeze in the trumpets?
Yeah. It's working all right.
Okay. It's a little cold, though. Is this the coldest parade you've ever been in, do you think?
Yeah, we've never marched in the winter before.
Okay, listen, let's head back for somebody else now, back in the percussion section if we can, Dan. And let's, here's an individual back here we can talk to, I think. Yeah, I know this guy. This is Dave Floyd. Now, Dave, what do you do on that drum now? Do you have any problems with it in this kind of weather?
Yeah, their heads become real brittle and they have a tendency to break and to lose the pitch.
What do you do if the drum breaks during the parade?
Well, you just kind of bear with it.
Or bake it, right?
Yeah, just bake it the best you can.
Well, we'll head back out and see if you can get an idea. We'll go this way, right? See if you can get it. Oh, we'll go this way. Well, I'm not used to being in a band, you know, Johnny? We're going to head back out and give the Caledonia High School Marching Band a little bit of room. You're going to see them in the parade along with 4 other bands. And it ought to be pretty neat to see how they do in this kind of weather. Back to you, John and Amy.
Okay.
I imagine that marching will help them keep warm, though, moving around.
You know, I almost feel guilty. We're sitting up here. We've got little heaters next to us. We're pretty comfortable.
They're the ones.
They're the brave souls
No
today.
doubt.
As we mentioned earlier, the parade signals an end to this year's St. Paul Winter Carnival, and it has really been a success so far.
That's right. Most of the action was out on Harriet Island in St. Paul. Visitors to the Winter Carnival were able to get a close-up glimpse of the throne of King Boreas. An ice palace illuminated with colored lights was constructed on the island for this year's carnival. And as you can see, it was a beautiful sight out there, especially at night.
The other big sight to see this year was the home of Volcanus Rex, and that's a giant snow volcano. And we're going to take a tour of that magnificent structure.
I'm Dick Messbarger with Commonwealth Electric of Minnesota. We did the electrical work here at Harriet Island. Shall we go inside and see what it looks like in the tunnel? As you can hear, the volcano is erupting now. Watch your head. It's a little bit low in here, and it can be dark, so be careful. In here is the sound room. This is the sound equipment that was provided by Intertech. The Vulcan's voice, the volcano noise, and Listen the Teller of Tales all come from this equipment.
Join our Vulcan victory march.
As you can hear, the Vulcan is up on top now speaking. We're now entering what we call Command Central. This room is where everything on the volcano is controlled. Okay, this is the relay cabinet, which controls most of the functions on the volcano. What I'm doing now is putting in some relays which are used for the lights. It's just now getting towards dark, and we put these relays back in. There's no reason to operate them during the day. We're now going to climb to the top of the volcano, which is about 50 feet. It's a rough climb, but I'll see you at the top. I'm now crawling out of the concrete pipe that leads to the base of Volcanus Rex. Volcanus is sitting on a hydraulic scissor lift that we'll go over here and we'll control him manually now, raising him up and down. Normally this is done by the computer automatically. Vulcanus has now reached his peak, which to the very top is about 80 feet in the air. Any minute now he will start giving his speech to his followers. And that's how Mount Vulcanus works.
It's a long way up. I'll tell you, the sound system in there was fantastic. You could hear him, it seemed, from a good part of St. Paul. We were out at the Winter Carnival, and his voice just was crystal clear.
You were there all week, and I saw Paul Douglas take a ride up on them.
He looked about that big compared to Vulcanus.
He had a lot of nerve to do that. I would be very fearful to be up that high.
I got scared for him sitting down looking up. It's a big guy. You're going to want to stay right where you are. We're getting set for the start of the Torchlight Parade.
Yeah, and you know, we should mention, too, even though it's cold out here, we've got a lot of people already on the streets out here. Minnesotans are hardy. Nothing is going to keep them away from this parade tonight.
That's right, that's right. My hat's off to them. As we said, we have some space heaters here to keep warm, but a lot of people are really braving it, and the excitement's really starting to build out here.
They look real happy.
They sure do. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Why not try something revolutionary for lunch? Ground beef, lettuce, cheese, and a little imagination. Introducing the new Soft Taco Supreme from Taco Bell. All your favorites. Plus tomatoes and sour cream on something better than a bun. Look, you can try something different or become another statistic. The new Soft Taco Supreme.
Hello, Taco Bell!
Celebrate the savings during Snyder's annual Price Chopper sale. See how much more you save at the Old Corner Drugstore. Save to $2.78 on Ruffy's trash bags. Regular $2.89 each, now get 2 for $3 with coupon. Save up to 70 cents on Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion or Q-Tips Cotton Swabs. Just $1.69 each with coupon. Save 25% on all Sally Hansen Nail Care products. There's a large assortment to choose from. The Price Chopper sale, only at Snyder's, the Old Corner Drugstore, for today.
Sooner or later, keeping the old car running just isn't worth it. Not when Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers are offering up to $1,000 cash back on select imports and savings of hundreds more on specially equipped models. On Colt hatchbacks, Vista wagons, Ram 50 pickups, and Conquest TSIs. So instead of this, see your Chrysler, Plymouth, or Dodge dealers before these great import deals expire.
To you, this might be a simple breakfast, but in the time it takes to prepare cereal, you can prepare hot, buttery pancakes and savory sausages. Great Starts breakfasts from Swanson. Simply good food. If this is your idea of a hot breakfast, think about this. In the time it takes to make coffee, you can make hot scrambled eggs, sizzling bacon, and crispy home fries. Great Starts breakfasts from Swanson. A real breakfast.
Hi again, John Stone, along with Amy Powell here in Rice Park, getting ready for the start of the Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade.
We are now only a few minutes away from the start of what promises to be an evening filled with excitement.
And you know, there are a number of celebrities taking part in tonight's parade. In all, at least 8 stars from NBC television programs will be included in the Torchlight Parade. Those stars come from such shows as Highway to Heaven, St. Elsewhere, A Year in the Life, Beverly Hills Bunts, and the popular show L.A. Law. Now today, 2 of the stars of L.A. Law paid a visit to a St. Paul business. Richard Dysart and Susan Ruttman toured West Publishing. The company puts together law books for firms all across the country. In fact, the law books you see on the show L.A. Law are made at West Publishing in St. Paul. That's a very interesting trivia.
It is. Well, people are starting to line up here. The excitement is building. They're bundled up. You know, they do say wear the layers in this weather. And weather, as you know, I'm wearing about 12 sweaters. sweaters.
That's right. It's a new style.
You got to keep warm.
That's right. And Alan Costantini is with some of the folks who are attending the parade. Alan?
Yeah, we sure are. We're here with a bunch of people here for the parade. Where are you from?
I'm from Eagan, Minnesota.
That's right. What's your name?
Cynthia Perez.
That's too right. What does she win back there, Johnny? Oh, come on here. And what do you think? Is it cold enough for you?
Yes, it's cold. My feet are freezing.
What about everybody else here? Is it cold enough for you, huh?
Yes.
Come on, this one looks like she's just enjoying this warm weather. That scarf was red when you came, wasn't it? What's your name?
Rosemary Lynn.
That's right. Where are you from?
St. Paul.
Well, you're used to this,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Now, you've been to a lot of these parades, right? That was a good guess. And what do you think of this one so far? And you haven't seen the parade yet, but what about the scene, the scene so far here?
It's nice.
Do you always come to Rice Park to watch the parade?
No.
Where do you usually go? Well, obviously.
Well, wherever the parade route goes.
Well, that's true, but I mean, it's usually downtown, except for that one year we had the Ice Palace. It was out at Phelan.
Yes.
What about, you always come down here when it's downtown?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Past
good.
in the past.
Listen, let's talk to go. Well, look at this guy. Now we got all age groups represented, I think, here. Brian, turn around here. Who's Dad here? What's Dad?
Right here.
Okay, what's your name?
Dave Sunmark.
Where are you from?
St. Paul.
What part of St. Paul are you from?
Lower East Side, Highwood area.
Okay, and you're out for the parade. And how's the little guy doing in the cold here?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
What do you think, Brian? Are you ready for the parade? Brian says get away. Anyway, who's this guy right over here? What's your name?
Mike Thornton,
Mike, where are you from?
Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota.
You're from Inver Grove. Okay, and you came down just tonight?
Yep.
Got some family with you here?
Just Mom.
Just Mom? You dragged Mom along. Did Mom want to come down here? Or
Sure, yes. We want to see the fire department march in the parade.
Is Inver Grove in the parade tonight?
Inver Grove and Egan.
Well, we'll be rooting for them, huh, tonight? That's great. Yeah, hi, Dad. Okay. How about somebody smart here now who has got some cider here, and you got this right over here in Rice Park. What's your name?
Julie.
Julie, where are you from?
Egan.
From Egan?
Yep.
A bunch of people from Egan down in this part. Now, we told you a little earlier, if you're looking for a little heat, that there was a torch runner that was bringing the Aquatennial torch from Minneapolis over here to St. Paul. We have an update on that now. Melissa Young has that. Where are they, Mel?
Well, Alan, actually, they've just arrived. Cindy and Charlie Fitzpatrick. They've got 3 of the torches lit. Let's see if we can get the other 3 lit. That's fine, yeah. Now, they have run all the way from the Lake Harriet bandshell. There we go. And I don't know if you know this, folks, but this is the last heat of summer. Last heat of summer. These are flames from the Aquatennial Parade, and they've made it all the way from the Lake Harriet bandshell. I gotta ask you, is it a cold run out there?
It got cold right when we got into St. Paul. The last couple of miles has been cold.
Now, you ran all the way from the Lake Harriet bandshell, right?
Right.
How far is that, Charlie?
It's about 13, 14 miles, somewhere in there.
So it's like the half marathon from this morning, right?
Yeah.
Are you used to running in this kind of weather?
Oh, yeah. We run all the time. It's a little cool. It's not bad.
Okay. Well, congratulations. You made it all the way here. Now, we should also tell you we have 2 different fire departments represented here. The good guys, Egan, in the black. There they are. All right. And over here in the yellow, we have Inver Grove Heights. And I'm going to ask you real quick. I noticed you guys were holding on to the ends of your torches. What was that for before the runners arrived?
We're keeping the ends of the torches warm so they light for us.
What would happen if they were cold? They just wouldn't go, or?
Well, in this cold weather, you have to keep the ends warm so the flow of flammable liquid will come out or the gas will light.
And you're carrying these through the parade, right?
Correct.
All right, well, congratulations. Again, the last heat of summer. I think I may put my hand up there to try to warm myself up from the last heat of summer. And this is a new tradition, by the way, we should tell you. Some of these flames will be run into the Aquatennial Parade come July. Boy, seems any minute now it's going to be July. Back to you, Amy and John.
Any minute now. That one runner looked like King Boreas with his white whiskers.
Quite a building of frost on him there.
Imagine running that far, though.
Well, they did a terrific job.
That's right.
Brought the flame in.
He sure did. Let's hope, as Melissa said, spring is just around the corner. When the different units involved in the parade pass in front of the Landmark Center in downtown St. Paul, they're going to be doing it in style.
That's right. Instead of having to pound the pavement, they'll have carpet underneath them. And News 11's Mike Igo has more on that.
Of course, St. Paul prides itself on its parade participants, but this red carpet treatment, even though the carpet's not red, has to do with improving the parade's picture, not helping hoofers.
For the Winter Carnival, we'll do just about anything.
Actually, carpet got the call because paint just wouldn't stick to the streets in the sub-zero temperatures. So workmen usually concerned with improving the appearance of homes were instead asked to jazz up this section of Market Street near Landmark Center. Altogether, it covers an area of 200 feet long by 44 feet wide. And the DuPont Stainmaster carpet, which advertises its toughness, will really be put to the test.
Katie's going to take and have it cleaned and just see
what this stuff can actually be put to, you know, what kind of tests can be put to. As far as traffic, sloppy, messy stuff. So.
And for the marchers, at least part of their route will be sous-vide, the part closest to the ground. This is Mike Igo, News 11, St. Paul.
Not quite like carpeting your house, is it?
That's right. A little formidable of a task.
Well, don't go away. The Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade is about to get underway.
And we'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment.
Normally, we'd buy a 30-second TV spot to tell you about Lasso herbicide, like how you get excellent grass control in just one pass and save a trip across your fields. But since we're giving you this $2 a gallon rebate on bulk Lasso, we had to cut this commercial short.
Enter the world of Michael Douglas as he lights up the City of Light on the next Entertainment Tonight. Will Fatal Attraction take Europe by storm? Lisa Gibbons finds out in an exclusive interview direct from Paris. Next, see why Patrick Swayze's got everybody talking about his hot song from Dirty Dancing. Plus, Carl Weathers finds action on screen. And Angela Lansbury recalls a chilling role.
It'll shock a lot of folk, I can tell you that.
On Entertainment Tonight.
Monday at 6:30 on 11.
From breaking news to business news, from sports and weather to features and interviews.
We report about people, places, and issues that are important to you.
Weekends on the NBC Nightly News and News 11, only on TV 11.
Amy Powell along with John Stone. We are live and almost warm here in Rice Park.
Pretty comfortable. Well, we are anyway.
We are. Well,
the bands are ready and the floats are ready, and I think we're just about ready for the parade.
I think that's a good idea, and we're just a couple of minutes away from getting started, as we mentioned earlier. And people are gathering. I mean, I am surprised at the number of people who are just below our stand right here. We're about 6 feet off the ground, and there are lots of people down there.
We can see quite a few folks from here all over. The band seem to be all ready to go. One last look at the staging area shows the units taking part in the parade are ready to make their way to the start of the parade route, and all the finishing touches seem to be ready to go here. It's just about showtime for these folks.
Yes, and we're looking along the route right now, and we can see several hundred people from where we are. They're ready to watch the parade. It's a grand event, something you don't want to miss, whether you're watching on TV or in person, all the color, all the pageantry.
That's right. You know, our hats off also to the technical crew here at News 11, who have been out since early this morning, setting up our scaffolding, keeping us nice and warm.
That's right. They've done a great job for us at their own expense. You know, they've got the frozen feet and hands, but they're ready to go.
That's right. Of course, they have the Amy Powell design wear on, too, snowsuits and 15 layers, but our congratulations to them.
And now we're going to turn it over to Paul and Diana, who are standing by ready to call the parade.
Paul and Di?
All right, John and Amy, thank you very much. Actually, you know, with an air temperature of 1 degree above and a wind chill of 15 below, it's probably better to say hats on to the technical crew
absolutely.
from Channel 11. Yeah, they have done a marvelous job. And welcome, everybody, to what promises to be a very fun and exciting parade tonight.
We hope so. A parade that's starting out in fine style before us now as royal subjects of the King and Queen of the Carnival celebrate the success of the festival.
I'll keep you warm here.
Looks like they're all having a lot of fun, and well, they should. For the past 2 weeks, Boreas, King of the Winds, and Queen of the Snows have reigned over a glorious carnival with all the feasting, dancing, fun, and frolic Boreas intended for his subjects when long ago he proclaimed St. Paul the capital of his domain. Well, Canis, the King of Fire, has been lurking in the wings, however, and we receive reports that a dethroning is likely.
Tell you right now, let's enjoy this carnival-like atmosphere. I hear the fanfare that is signaling the arrival of the King and Queen. The crowd is making way for them as the Royal Guard prepares an archway for their entrance. They're passing under the crossed swords. Let's go down to Paul Douglas, who's in the midst of the festivities on the street. Paul?
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you, Diana. Hello, King Boreas. Welcome, Queen of the Snows. Let the festivities begin. What do you think? So far, so good, I guess.
Well, Queen Laurie and I have been ruling over the Winter Carnival for an entire week, and we've banished Volcanus Rex a number of times, and we're in total control of the weather.
I would say so. 1 degree at last report. What do you say? Let's get things underway.
Let the festivities, let the parade begin.
You heard King Boreas. Accompanying the official announcement of the start of the parade are the Herald Bugles. Now, this group represents the brass section of the Royal Guard Drum and Bugle Corps, a new drum corps recently formed for young people in the Twin Cities. They are quite an impressive bunch. It looks as though, what's going on here? Somebody here forgot their costume. They have 13 members. There's supposed to be only 12. Excuse me, you're really... Sandy Duncan! Well, what a surprise! Welcome to St. Paul. I'm used to seeing you fly across the stage as Peter Pan. I didn't know you played the bugle.
I don't. I put my lips to this and almost couldn't get them off.
Oh,
This is frozen solid, and I don't want to break this to you, Paul, but I wasn't really flying either.
You weren't? That was all magic?
This is all fake here. I wasn't really, no, and that was magic.
I was afraid we'd have to chisel your lips off the bugle. Tell you what, Paul and Diana have a heater out there. Why don't you go up there and join them?
You stay here.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Somebody's got to do it. Nice to see you, Sandy. Folks, you have the best seat in the house. Sit back, prop up your feet inside your warm, cozy house, and get ready to take in what we hope is going to be a memorable parade. In just a minute, we'll be back with Sandy Duncan, a host of stars, Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, and myself for the official 1988 Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hello, small change, kind of short. Taco Bell is just your sort.
Did you know that for only 99 cents or less, you can get nachos, burritos, tacos, lots of great tasting food, and only at Taco Bell? So if you've got some small change just lying around, there's only one real choice.
Hello, Taco Bell.
When you're talking low, you're talking Lou. 'Cause nobody sells video lower than Lou.
We're the Stereo Brothers, and no one can stretch your dollar farther.
No matter what they claim,
If I can't beat your best deal, no one can.
just remember the asterisk, because nobody but nobody sells for less than Highland.
KARE.
And now, KARE TV presents the St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. Can you remember all that?
You bet.
Victory.
I'm
Yes.
Paul Majors.
I'm Diana Pierce.
And you're?
Sandy Duncan. I
And
can
it's
remember that.
really nice to have you here.
Thank
Yes.
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Absolutely, she does.
What do you think of the weather and everything?
I think it's glorious.
Did we pay you to say that?
No, I do.
Oh, I like that attitude. We
Yeah.
should have a fun night tonight. There are a
Yeah.
lot of people out along the street.
Mm-hmm.
We're right down on Market Street in between 5th and 6th, right across the street behind us back there. You can see the Landmark Center, one of the more glorious buildings here in St.
Boy, and I hear something is definitely headed our way, too.
Let's head down to the street perhaps and take a look and see what we have right
Okay.
now. It sounds like the police. Of course, representing the St. Paul Police Department, obviously, since we're in the city of St. Paul. These good guys will be leading the parade route throughout the evening. They've got that fun job of making sure the streets are cleared. And of course, it kind of gets the crowd revved up, don't you think?
I think so. I think it's a fitting way to start off a parade with a bang and lots of noise.
The only downside is every time I hear a siren like that, I look over my shoulder to see a red light. But of course, we're not driving tonight. We have a wonderful vantage point from which to watch this. There's McGruff the dog down there along with the sedan. There he is right there. Of course, McGruff's the chap that'll take a bite out of crime for you.
And then, of course, following that is the Sky Tracker truck. That's to provide more opening parade night excitement. It's a Rivera event lights from the Sky Tracker #1. And you can look for more of these units throughout the entire parade.
They don't look cold, do they, in their tuxedos?
No.
They've got on earmuffs.
They look like they're mighty warm tonight. Lots of stars there.
As long as they wave, they'll be doing all right.
He's standing on hot coals.
Well, Sandy, what did you think of the buglers down there? I mean, that.
I wasn't kidding when I said that. Someone standing in the crowd said, "Go ahead, play." I thought I'd give it a shot, and I put the thing to my lips and had to rip it off.
Uh-oh.
You're not going to jeopardize your series, are you?
No. Well, not again. No, I'll be able to talk.
All right.
I've got my tongue moving again.
Look at that. Now, there is a smart Minnesotan right there.
And her little Afghan.
Totally bundled up.
All the way. And you can see, everybody knows that with a wind chill of 15 below, exposed skin is the only thing that can irritate you, perhaps. So
that's true. People here know to bundle up, and that's what we're seeing plenty of tonight. Lots of bundled up people.
Yeah, we have quite a crowd on hand here.
Noses, toes.
There is the view of Market Street and, of course, the Landmark Center. As I said earlier, we're in between 5th and 6th Street right here in St. Paul. Rice Park, just up there at the left side of your screen. You can see some of the lights back there in Rice Park. There's a shot of the grandstands where all kinds of people are seated. And, of course, all kinds of people lined along the streets here.
With children and babies. You guys are used to this. I'm from Southern California. My blood is thin.
What was it like when you left Los Angeles? What was the weather like?
85. Let's don't talk about it, okay?
85
That's probably a good idea.
This is kind of, I meant glorious. This is kind of refreshing to me. This feels good. We don't get this kind of brisk kind of pickup here.
Well, we know that you won't fall asleep, Sandy.
Nah.
We also want to mention to folks that at home that, of course, we're broadcasting in stereo, as long as you have a stereo set. Back held the men prisoners. Here you have the beautiful torches. The traditional torchlights in the parade tonight are carried by the members of the Egan and Inver Grove Heights volunteer fire departments. I think you have Inver Grove Heights in yellow and Egan in black, so you can root for your favorite fire department there. And once again, heralding the start of the parade, the KARE 11 Winter Carnival Herald Bugles.
They're a fun group of kids, and I understand they come from 8 different Twin Cities schools.
That's right.
Now, they have their music arranger and instructor is Don Tunison. Now, these 12 buglers are proud to represent not only the Royal Guard Drum and Bugle Corps, but also Scouting's Indian Head Council as Explorer Post 885.
Now, Sandy, would you like to be marching along with them at this point?
As long as I don't have to put that thing to my mouth, I wouldn't mind. I don't know how they do it. God bless you.
They're a tough group of hardy Minnesotans right there.
By the way, all of our fire and ice banners tonight are carried by the Boy Scouts from the Indian Head Council of Greater St. Paul, and we're going to be seeing them throughout the parade tonight.
I think coming along now is the Caledonia High School Marching Band. Let's make way for the Warriors. They're under the direction of David L. Arp. This 70-member band uses a very unique style of marching. It's a combination of military and chorus style at an on-street cadence of approximately, 100 steps per minute. I could do that in this cold, couldn't you? Makes for an awfully sharp-looking unit. They're dressed in white coats, flat trousers, and white hats. And their appearance is sponsored by American National Bank.
Now, these kids have done a lot of traveling in recent years, making appearances in St. Louis, Springfield, Illinois, and they were also at the World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee a few years back.
Now, this band makes an annual appearance at the Minnesota State Fair and the Oktoberfest in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Marching at 100 steps per minute, that's probably the only way to stay warm in this parade.
Yeah, I bet you they're marching a little bit faster than what we're reading,
Possibly,
too.
possibly. There you have some more of those torchlights we were talking about. Inver Grove Heights and Egan Fire Departments carrying those.
Now we have the Prince of Soot.
Oh, that's beautiful. Ah!
The AT&T Winter Carnival float. Riding tonight in this beautiful new float designed especially for the King and the Queen of the Carnival. And their Prime Minister are the 1988 Queen of Snows, Lori Hammond, King Boreas, Richard Zere. Mark Swanson is the 1988 Winter Carnival Prime Minister. The float's illuminated by torches.
Oh, AT&T Winter Carnival Queen and King. It won the Prince of Soot Award as the float deemed worthy of special recognition in tonight's parade. I don't know why, other than it's gorgeous.
It's absolutely beautiful. It really is.
Really beautiful.
And now, riding in a beautifully restored horse-drawn antique sleigh, the chairman of the 1988 Winter Carnival, Joe Fransgrote, and his wife, Helen, along with the president of this year's carnival, John Zobel, and his wife, Claire. And they want to make everybody, want to wish them warm wishes tonight. And they'd like to thank the thousands of volunteers who made this a tremendous community effort.
Now, we know who Joe is, don't we?
Joe's our boss.
Joe is the boss.
I know. Joe is terrific. He sent me a white swan, like the float we saw before.
From Joe?
Sorry.
What did you get from Joe, Diana?
I got a nice warm handshake earlier.
Did you really?
That's
well,
about
you
it.
talk to him later about it.
He gave me an ice cube. I don't know what that means.
I do, Paul.
Want to mention something to you right now as we take another look perhaps from way up above at Market Street here. I want to show you something. The street looks like it's probably covered in the salt as it dries. It looks kind of gray the way the roads look after they've been salted. What that actually is carpeting on the street in front of us. If you saw our pre-parade program, you probably heard Mike Igo's report on that. Furnished by Lee's Carpets and Dayton's, we want to thank them for the help. It's a dark blue DuPont Stainmaster carpet measuring 250 feet by 44. And miraculously, it seems to match the drapes in some of the windows here in downtown St.
Now, how
Paul.
do you think they did that?
I don't know. That's uncanny that happened. The uniform color of the carpeting serves as an excellent backdrop for televising parade units. And many parades, what they do, and in fact, what we did last summer during the Aquatennial Torchlight Parade, was they painted the street gray. It just makes for a better backdrop. Now, unfortunately, when the weather is this cold,
yes,
the paint will not adhere to the roadway. So they laid down the carpet. Now, I was told, I don't know if it'll actually come about and we'll see this on television, but I was told the old carpet folks probably want to make a commercial out of this.
Well, it seems like it's holding up. I think they're going to get a good commercial out of it.
Absolutely. So that's why that looks the way it does. It's not for the ease of the marchers or anything. It's fine moving down through the streets of St. Paul. There's no ice on the roads or anything. But it just makes for a better backdrop as we bring you the television coverage of the parade. Let's get down to Paul Douglas right now on the street. Doug, what are you up to?
We know he's down there someplace.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a little tongue-tied. I feel like a tongue-tied groupie down here, Sandy, Paul, and I. LA Law, arguably the best written show on television with the most fascinating characters, and I'm here with two of the stars tonight. Richard Dysart, who plays Leland Mackenzie, the kindly benevolent patriarch. How do you feel so far? Is this what you thought it would be so far?
This is just sensational. We're so happy. Every member of the cast wanted to be here, and we're the ones, and we're very happy.
We're genuinely pleased that you could be here tonight. I didn't realize this. Susan Rattan, who plays Roxanne Millman, the assistant to Corbin Berenson, I didn't realize you have your own line of clothing, or you make your own clothing?
Yeah, I did have a design company, yeah, so Sumi Designs. I mean, I still have it. We're just not active right now because of being with the show.
And you're involved in carpentry and plumbing, too.
Yes.
We have some work for you after the parade.
Okay.
Welcome to St. Paul. We hope to get a longer interview coming up afterwards, okay? Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Are we seeing you after?
Yes.
All right, great.
Thank you.
And now, executing some very difficult marching maneuvers and intricate formations, something you're not likely to see anywhere else in the world. The Toro Precision Snow Thrower Drill Team in their debut performance. Those of you who are familiar with the Doodah Parade in Pasadena may know that a Toro Lawnmower Drill Team appears there every year. But this is the first parade where the snow throwers are featured. The 40 drill team members are employees of the Twin Cities-based Toro Company, and they've had a great time practicing their routines at their Bloomington headquarters.
They are a handsome-looking unit, aren't they?
Hi!
Hello, everyone.
Their machines are quiet now, but we know they're ready to spring into action and clear the parade route at the first sign of snow.
You know, it's nice to have them in the parade. In fact, in some years, in case it's snowing, we should maybe make them the first unit.
That's right. That's right.
Kind of keep things clear.
You know, we thought we were going to have snow here earlier this evening, but it's been
Is that
clear
true?
instead. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You must have brought some of your California warmth
California
with
luck,
you
huh?
when you landed.
Yeah.
And if that DuPont Stainmaster carpet can take those snow blowers, you know it can take anything, yeah?
That's right. I think Toro is the world's largest manufacturer of snow removal equipment.
I think what we're going to be seeing here pretty soon, right afterwards, is we have several award winners this evening for the floats throughout the parade. And we're going to see one of our first award winners.
Judging the floats earlier.
Now, we have, to name just a few, the Volcanus Rex Award, the Baron Hot Sparkus, the Grand Duke Vertilius, Count of Ashes. Those are just some of the awards that we're seeing. But the first one we're going to see is First Minnesota Winter Carnival Princesses and Winds. It won the General Playmiss Award today for the Best Float Illumination.
The best float in the nation?
Float illumination.
Illumination.
That is a gorgeous
Has a magic quality, hundreds of tiny lights illuminating a fantasy flower made of snowflakes. Now, riding on the snowflake pedestals are the new Winter Carnival Princesses and Winds. Jill Zapensky, Julianne Falzoni, Angela Delmont, Jacqueline Vidrick, Leonard Carlson, Thomas Stumpf, William Hockey, and Joe Nelson. Now, this float is sponsored by First Minnesota.
So the fireworks going on there.
Were those Clydesdale, the horses?
You bet they are. And they're used to the winter.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Now they're tossing out a first. It's called Coins of the Realm, Boreas Coins of the Realm. And we're going to see that, I guess, from now on.
That is a gorgeous float. Well, we're pleased to announce that a new drumline competition has been added to the Winter Carnival festivities this year. It's sponsored by KARE TV 11, and participating groups compete for prizes totaling $2,111. Now, one nice thing about drumlines in a winter parade is that it becomes a kind of a musical insurance in case the cold weather, like we're experiencing tonight, prevents the marching bands from being able to safely play their instruments, as Sandy found out earlier on. Drums and percussion, though, can be played in just about any weather, and here to prove that is our first drumline from Rocori High School in Cold Spring, Minnesota. They, by the way, are the winners of the drumline competition, taking the first prize of $1,111. Their music director is Robert Harris, who helped organize this year's Winter Carnival drumline competition. 30 members in the group. Percussion director is Dick Rausch. these kids are good.
And you can see why they're #1.
And up in Cold Spring, Ricori, they're used to weather like this.
You bet.
Where did you say? And where?
Up in Cold Spring, Ricori.
Colder than it is here, huh?
Oh, oftentimes, yeah. They're a good-looking unit, aren't they?
Good sounding.
Next, we're going to have the KARE 11 float. It's all bundled up in proper winter attire. This summer, when you saw the float, you didn't see all those scarves and mittens and hats on the building or the people, but we know you have to make certain adjustments for the season. Now, we've combined the skylines of Minneapolis, St. Paul, into one thin, animated, illuminated city. And you can see the IDS, the World Trade Center. These are just some of the folks that are on board there. Cindy Brucato, Tom Ryther, News 11's Kirsten Lindquist. We also have Joe Manjaris and Orlando Taylor from TV 11's Community Affairs program, PRISM. Now, along with the World Trade Center, the IDS Tower, we've got the Metrodome, Fauché Tower, and the State Capitol. And News 11's Max Mesmer is cruising around the top of that in Sky 11. So we've got several folks in there all bundled up.
What they have is that they're tossing to the crowd that you can see right
Yes,
there. Those
what
are
is
little
that?
flippies, we call them.
What, flippies?
They just made them for the parade tonight. Yeah, they're called flippies. They're almost like a little Frisbee, but they're cloth material, and they're very, very soft and pliable. And obviously, you don't want to be throwing anything that would freeze up in this weather in a crowd.
No.
I think our insurance prevented us from doing that.
Just things that emanate warmth. Here we go with the Southwest High School Marching Band from Minneapolis, Minnesota. They're sponsored by St. Paul Companies, and they're under the direction of Thomas Keith. There are 65 members, and they're marching tonight to the tune of Marada by Bob Cotter. This band has played in many cities across America, including New York, Chicago, and Florida. And they seem to have an affinity for Norwegians. In 1985, they played in 12 parades in Norway as Minnesota's musical ambassador. And for the past 7 years, they performed in the Minneapolis, how do you pronounce that? Sitindinimi?
No,
Sitindamai.
Say it again?
Sitindamai.
Is that an Indian word?
No, it's Norwegian.
Ah.
It's actually one of their big
I
festivals.
see, it says here, or Norwegian Independence Day. These kids are also looking forward to an exciting trip to Disney World for performances this February 19th and 20th. What a perfect time for trips south. Woo!
Let's take a listen to them here for a minute.
Do you see the bass drum player just coming up? His name is Dylan Keith, and he's a member of McDonald's All-American High School Band. And 4 of the members of the band were chosen as all-state musicians.
I got to hand it to the bass drum player. He doesn't play, so he's got his face all wrapped up with a scarf.
That's Dylan right there, the
There he
McDonald's
is.
All-American Band member. I'll tell you what, as the Southwest High School Marching Band leaves the Market Street area right here, and you take a good look at downtown St. Paul, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back.
To everything, there is a season. And this winter at Dayton's, you can save on Lee's carpet, but you won't have to pay for a long time, a very long time. It's Dayton's Lee's Carpet Sale with deferred billing. Save 20 to 40% with your Dayton's charge, and your first payment won't be due until August. At Dayton's, you save now, pay later, much later. The Lee's Carpet Sale. No payments till August.
You've noticed it before. Something missing in your margarine. Taste, flavor, richness. Now Land O'Lakes has found what you've been missing. The taste of sweet cream. In Land O'Lakes bread with sweet cream. Just enough sweet cream to make it sweet, creamy, buttery, yet it has almost no cholesterol. Land O'Lakes bread with sweet cream. The taste you've been missing.
Same old thing with the same old bunch. The same bunch. So what's it gonna be for lunch?
Make it a burrito any way you want it. At Taco Bell, there are 4 ways to get your fill. From our bean burrito to the double beef burrito supreme, you can have a lunch that leaves you empty or burritos that fill you up. So what's it gonna be?
Hello, Taco Bell.
Come and see Good Value Homes.
What is a good value? Communities and locations we know meet the needs of your busy lifestyle. A good value is affordable new homes with Good Value Homes below market financing. A good value is thoughtfully designed floor plans and a wide range of interior choices. Now that's a good value. Come and see Good Value Homes. You'll see why our middle name says it all.
Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. You can probably hear a big horn going off there in the back. Take a look at what's going on right down here. There is the Royal Guard right there. This group is composed of past guards to King Boreas. They're riding along in that truck. Now, right up in front of the truck, if you can see this, take a look up here.
Is he a bad
Maybe our
guy?
director,
What is
Greg
that?
Beeson, can get a shot of that. Well, what you have is the Royal Guard's trying to fight off one of the Vulcans.
Aha!
This is pretty nasty.
But that's
right
what
here.
a Vulcan looks like, eh?
Yeah, it looks like the Royal Guard's winning right here.
I would say.
Members of the Guard did the restoration to this military troop carrier. They spent about 2,500 hours working on that truck that they're riding in.
Here comes a 1905 horse-drawn fire pumper. Is that something? It's two beautiful Belgian horses, and they're pulling a restored 1905 steam fire pumper. It's being driven by Jake Jordan, and it's owned by the St. Paul Fire Department.
I think they would have a hard time pumping water on a night like tonight.
Yeah, they probably would. Although they fire those things up, they keep that boiler going. So in events like this, they could keep it going. I think once
Yes,
the fire,
yes, steam
you
pumper.
can see the steam coming right out the top there. So as long as they keep the heater going, they could put out just about anything. It's a really nice looking unit. This, of course, is the Winter Carnival Junior Royalty Float right here. And reigning tonight in his first appearance as King Frost is Christopher Henry. The Queen of the Snowflakes is Christina Verlo, and they're joined by several other members of their royal party, including the Junior Prime Minister, Lady-in-Waiting, Princesses, and Winds. And it's got to be a big, big night for these kids. They're all looking properly royal. And obviously, you can see all the big smiles on their faces right there as we give them a rather nice wave.
They cute.
Coming up, a familiar face for St. Elsewhere watchers.
Yeah, he's not a real doctor, but he plays one on TV. It's Stephen First. He's one of the most likable characters on St. Elsewhere, I think, playing Dr. Elliot Axelrod.
Now, do you guys all hang out together in L.A.?
I've never met him till the plane today. He's the nicest man. No, nobody knows.
You know how it
anybody
is.
out
We all
there.
think you guys hang out together and do lunch and do all that.
No. I understand in his free time he coaches a Little League T-ball team.
There goes Steve right there. Well, here's another first-time entry in the Winter Carnival drumline competition. It's a 16-member group from Hibbing High School under the direction of Art Hill. Percussion director is Lynn Abel. The instrumentation of this group, get this, it's 3 snares, 4 bass drums, and tri-toms. Those are the tom-toms on the racks. And they also have 2 xylophones.
By the way, they're also our 3rd place winner in the drumline competition. They won $400, and congratulations to them.
Which they can take home to Hibbing. The home of Kevin McHale of the Boston Celtics.
Now let's go down to Paul Douglas, who's got some furry friends around him.
Right you are, Diana. We're here with some Minnesota Malamute club members, 2-legged and 4-legged.
That's right.
Don Stegner, you're the spokesman. Tell us about Malamutes and why do they have these little doggy backpacks?
Well, we're a club that backpacks. We sled our dogs, we freight our dogs, we breed them, we own them, we show them. So what we're here today is just to show everybody what the Malamute does do in Minnesota.
They're beautiful dogs. You have 3 dog teams here tonight?
That's right, 3 dog teams and 2 dog teams that are packing, and some people are just walking with dogs in harness.
They don't mind the cold one bit, do they?
Oh, no, this is actually warm for them. We were hoping for the 20 below.
You were?
Yeah, we were.
I won't say anything, Don. It's 1 above, 15 below wind chill. We're trying to think of this as severe cool down here, but we're glad you could stop by.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Sandy?
Yes. The American National Bank's North Wind won the Baron Hot Sparkus Trophy as the float bests the theme Tales of Fire and Ice.
And it's coming up right behind some more of the Torchlight torches. Once again being carried by Inver Grove in yellow and Egan in black. A running battle between those two fire departments tonight. The problem is I think the wind keeps putting out some of their torches. They keep dipping over and lighting off each other there.
Not only are the north winds blowing through the city and
see, there you go, right there.
Booth, they're
you can
also
see it's
riding...
a bit breezy down here tonight.
Where, down there?
You bet.
Well, you can see it. Well, that whole car's blowing.
Absolutely.
So on the next float, the wind, you can see it. Actually, these men are former Winter Carnival North Winds royalty.
Right here on the American National Bank North Winds float. As you said, the float won the Best the Theme, Tales of Fire and Ice.
I understand several of them helped build this float, along with the American National Bank employees. That looks like the North Wind.
They look like they're having fun, too, don't
yes,
they?
Yeah. Uh-huh. You can see the head of Titan blowing a cold wind over a miniature version of St. Paul, keeping the mechanical figure of Vulcan at bay. This float was the recipient of the Boreas Award and last Saturday's Grand Day Prize. A Grande, eh? Congratulations on your first place prize.
They're getting a good reception. They're getting the crowd stirred up.
Among the North Winds riding tonight are James Bradshaw, Ed Culliva, Mel Tobin, Don Esch, Gene Fasciana, Charlie Godbout, Norm Horton Jr., and Thomas Hubert. They look pretty happy.
They really do. I'll tell you what, as the Winter Carnival North Winds float disappears from sight, we'll be back with more of the 1988 St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. I remembered that. That's amazing. We'll be right back.
Imagine a place you could go to find help with your investment opportunities, retirement planning, insurance, credit lines, and mortgages. A place with more services than you'd expect from a bank and more help than you'd expect from a banker. It may be the last place you'd look, but it's the place you should come in first.
Ever since your post office invented express mail overnight delivery, others have tried to copy our eagle. But it's not so easy. Because express mail has overnight reliability that's close to perfect, the most convenient locations, and prices as low as $10.75. Most others charge you about twice that. So if you want a combination of low prices, convenience, and reliability no one can imitate, use the original express mail service from your post office.
The Harlem Globetrotters. They've won more games than any other professional team. But pity their opponents. They have the worst record. Will the General's coach do something about his reputation as a loser?
Yeah. We've got a secret weapon, and we'll beat the Trotters at their own game.
Yeah! Have the Globetrotters finally met their match? Find out for yourself.
See the Harlem Globetrotters live at Met Center. Tickets now on sale at the Met Center box office and Dayton's.
Convenience stores are popping up everywhere, and they all seem to be alike, small and limited, except one, Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb has more than other convenience stores, so you can pick up almost anything. How does that make the other guys feel? Downright embarrassed.
Get a 12-pack of Coke products or Sprite for just $2.99. Delicious Bernatello's Pizza, $2.89. And Deli Express Chuck Wagon sandwiches, 2 for $1 this week at Tom Thumb.
Welcome back, everybody. What do you think so far here, Sandy?
We've got you as bundled up
Yeah,
as
we
you
do.
could
We've got a
possibly
sleeping
be.
bag around you here. We've got your gloves on. You've got your little hot pack in your hand there. So that should be keeping your hand warm. Are you doing all right?
Yeah.
And every now and then I just sort of put it on my nose.
Not a bad idea.
Great.
Now, I know that you probably do lunch with this next guy who's down here on the street. Not the guy right there, the clown. But we have another star.
No, I
from
have lunch with the
television.
clown, actually.
You did have lunch with
You've
the
had
clown.
lunch with
did
him,
you?
huh?
Well, Paul Douglas is down on the street. You Hollywood types, I know you guys all hang out together.
Yeah,
Who's
right.
there? There's
nice,
Paul.
Nice to
Take a
know
look.
that. Nice to know that noses run in my family, right? I apologize here. I look like heck, but I'm having a great time. I get to interview all these celebrities. Peter Jurassic, you remember him from Hill Street Blues. He developed the character there. Now he plays Sid the Snitch on Beverly Hills Bunce. Big smash hit for NBC. Welcome to St. Paul.
It's great to be here. Freezing cold, but very, very happy.
What was the wind chill like in Beverly Hills before you left today?
The wind chill factor was 85 degrees, I'm afraid. 75 or 85.
Oh, my God.
Bikini weather.
Now, how do you get your hair to do that?
Actually, you put it in this kind of cold. It's a thermal process. You have to actually freeze yourself. Just place it right on your head like that.
I know you're a big Red Sox fan. Tell me honestly, Peter, who did you root for in the Twins game?
How did you know that?
We have our ways.
No, I'm a Twins fan now. I'm a Minnesota guy all the way, really.
Well, we're honored that you could make it here, and we hope you enjoy your stay in St. Paul.
Paul, thank you. So nice to be here, really. Great.
Nice to see you're dressed for the weather, too. My God. Paul, Di, Sandy, back up to you.
All righty, sir. Thank you very much. Our next float is a delightful recreation of the famous fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea. That, of course, is not the Princess and the Pea right there. That is the Citizen and the Clown. Here you have the company store float. As I said, a recreation of the famous fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea. A beautiful princess atop 20 feather beds proves she really is a princess because one small pea at the bottom of the beds has disturbed her rest. The prince, delighted to find a true princess, is asking for her hand in marriage. And the prince and princess, as well as the royal family, ladies in waiting, and the court jester, are portrayed by members of the Andahazi Ballet of St. Paul. This float is presented, as I said, by the company store, who also, by the way, furnished several down coats for some of the NBC stars riding in tonight's parades. You've seen some other stars with furs on. Those were provided by Ripnik Furs.
I see no furs here.
Yes.
You're going to hit your boss up for that too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys are the ones that are getting everything here. As I mentioned earlier, I only ended up with an ice cube.
However, we did get some nice stadium bags around our toes at the moment. And
Yeah, we did. That's a good deal.
That's a nice.
He promised
a
us
nice
these stadium bags, and they are working. Keeping
They
us
are
quiet
working.
for 'em. How do they keep the smiles on their faces? They don't even look cold, do
I
they?
think they're toasty warm.
Absolutely.
Company store keeps them toasty warm.
They're getting a nice reception from the crowd as well.
They're dancers. They're used to suffering.
Coming up, there's nobody better prepared for winter fun than our next parade group, the St. Paul Boy Scouts. Now, we're looking at winning teams from last weekend's Klondike Derby. Scouts built and raced these sleds, pulled by Scout Power in a special shuttle race on Harriet Island. Teams raced between several stations, where Scouts then had to demonstrate various winter camping skills or answer questions on winter survival, and they're putting all that knowledge to good use tonight. Grand finale was a flat-out foot race, the Gold Rush race between the Scout sleds, and these winning teams are from troops 252, 184, 82, 243, and 89.
Now, I know Paul Douglas will like them. Sandy, you may not know it, but Paul Douglas is an Eagle Scout. He went all the way to the highest honor that scouting has to give.
I had a feeling about Paul.
Yeah, you could tell. couldn't
Yeah,
you?
you can, yeah.
Here is the
Okay.
Senior Royalty Northland Ford Float. And these coming in to view with the newly chosen Winter Carnival Senior Royalty. And as I mentioned, they're riding on a float sponsored by the Northland Ford Company. Our 30th King Winter is Vince Clausen. Jerry Peterson is the new Queen of the Northlands. The 1988 Senior Prime Minister is Vern Lundquist. Prince of the Four Winds is Jack Anderson, and Princess of the Four Winds is Marcella Ernst. The senior royalty make approximately, get this, they're a busy group, 100 appearances throughout the year at hospitals, nursing homes, and in area parades. And they are very excellent goodwill ambassadors for the St. Paul Winter Carnival. With that, let's take a short break, turn around and warm up at our Bunsen burners here, and we'll be right back.
So cute.
A foreign power has invaded the Midwest. Silently, it has infiltrated every aspect of our lives. This foreign power, electricity from Canada. NSP buys this electricity when it's cheaper than producing it here to save you money. Creative energy, NSP.
If you're an owner of an import car, Chevrolet has some valuable news for you. If you add up all the features and qualities of the new Chevy Nova, then subtract $1,200 cash back that Nova now offers. you come up with the only answer for your next car. Chevy Nova.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
Celebrate the savings during Snyder's annual Price Chopper sale. See how much more you save at the Old Corner Drugstore. Save to $2.78 on Ruffy's trash bags. Regular $2.89 each, now get 2 for $3 with coupon. Save up to 70 cents on Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion or Q-Tips Cotton Swabs. Just $1.69 each with coupon. Save 25% on all Sally Hansen nail care products. There's a large assortment to choose from. The Price Chopper sale, only at Snyder's, the Old Corner Drugstore, for today.
Hi. I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
Yes.
Be right with you.
When you go all out for taste, the taste to go out for is Diet Pepsi.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
Thanks. I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
No trouble at all.
Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 1988 Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade. Now representing regional festivals from across the tri-state area, 78 visiting queens. These young women have been in St. Paul since Thursday, and they've toured the state capitol, attended a performance last night at the Actors Theater, went skating at Rice Park, and visited Harriet Island, of course, where the volcano is and King Boreas' throne. Among the women here tonight are those representing the North Hudson Pepper Festival, Montgomery Kalachi Days, Miss Minnesota National Teenagers, and Miss Minnesota Teen USA. There's also 14 chaperones with the group, we should mention. They just weren't running around town all by themselves. Although tonight they kind of look like they're out there on their own, don't they?
Well, I'm sure the chaperones are just nearby. Probably not out on the parade route, though.
Yeah, you'd need the chaperones, particularly with the Vulcans loose in town tonight.
Now, that was one thing I was vulcanized a little bit earlier this week.
You were smooched earlier, weren't you?
Yes.
Smeared. What the Vulcans do, Sandy, is they wear black, I guess it's just black sort of makeup or polish on their face, and they go around and they rub their face on the faces of anybody they happen to encounter.
But mostly women.
Mostly women.
For 2 weeks, huh?
Men, what they do is they put a V on their cheeks. Next, we have the city of Winnipeg in Canada's Manitoba province is represented by our next float. It's their first appearance in St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, and they won the Grand Duke Fertilius Award as the best entry by a city other than St. Paul. 4'7" gold carved figures represent some of Manitoba's well-known activities: ballet, fishing, hockey, and football. The motto at the rear of the float says it all: for family fun. And I say that would be a good motto for this parade, too. Now, the construction of this float, including carving and decorating, took approximately 850 hours, but it can now be assembled by just, get this, 1 or 2 people in about 2 hours. Still a lot of work no matter how you look at it.
It's a beautiful float.
They're very
From
beautiful.
the city of Winnipeg.
Nice of them to come all the way down here for the Winter Carnival. They're used to weather like this.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Yeah, they came down here to warm up.
Do you watch, I'm sure you do, A Year in the Life? It's a new hit series that NBC has. And here is one of the stars, Jane Atkinson. She's taking a break from her hit to spend a night in our parade. She plays Lindley Gardner on the show. Jane was born in Bournemouth, England, and now lives in Brooklyn, New York. She graduated from Northwestern University with a degree in theater and received her MFA degree from the Yale Drama School.
Quite a pedigree.
Yes, she is, and she's got on the official hat. Isn't that your Winter Carnival hat?
Yes, that is. We issue to the members of News 11, the technical crew, everybody.
Now, we'd like to mention that the convertibles tonight were provided by Long Import Motors, Mercedes, Countryside, VW Saab, Barnett, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Southview Chevrolet.
Jane's getting a very warm reception from the people.
Now, why is that siren going, Paul?
Well, because this is a legitimate ambulance, I think, at this point, moving through the parade.
Yes?
You can see it right there.
And we'd certainly like to let them through.
This is not part of the parade. That
No, and on their way.
As fast as it can.
However...
Well, coming up next, the Marching Blackhawks of Baldwin Woodville High School in Baldwin, Wisconsin. They're directed by Art Ate, and a 60-member band is no stranger to the Winter Carnival Parade. In fact, this is their 16th consecutive appearance in it. That's probably a record. The drum major is Jody Peterson. She leads the unit as they march by playing Gershwin's. Well, now, they're supposed to be playing Summertime. Let's listen. Yeah, Summertime. Please. At this time of year, I call that a wonderful piece of nostalgia music. They're sponsored by St. Paul Companies. Band members are dressed in black, red, and white, military-style uniforms with red berets. With a student population of 310 and 60 in the band, there's 20% participation in the band program. Baldwin Woodville.
Let's listen for a minute. Yeah, they
Diana,
are.
Paul.
Some of the bands chose not to play. So what you heard at home was tape-recorded music that we went out and recorded earlier of the bands. This band is actually playing.
Yeah.
And doing a very nice job.
You know, we've talked about the trumpet players, but there's also some flute players out there that have
playing. Yeah, they were.
Very cold instrument as well.
And now, I'll tell you what, thank goodness diplomatic relations between St. Paul and Minneapolis remain friendly. Otherwise, this parade would probably not be graced with this beautiful float from the Minneapolis Aquatennial. It is the Count of Ashes Trophy Award winner for the most original and creative float in the parade tonight. The winner right there, the Minneapolis Aquatennial float. Representing that summer festival tonight is the Queen of the Lakes, Jennifer Tollrud, and Princesses KARE Heckenleibel and Ann Swanson. These young women hold a place of honor near the float's castle and are guarded by two huge animated smoke-breathing sea serpents. This float is a former Tournament of Rose winner, originally designed for Singapore Airlines. It's been customized for the Aquatennial to take on a more fitting aquatic look. Remember Summertime? Well, you do, Sandy, because you just came from summer out in L.A., but Di, do you remember?
Boy, at this point, it feels so long ago.
Yeah, but that float kind of warms you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, but let's go down to Paul Douglas right now. He's trying to talk to this year's Klondike Kate. Probably in the belting out, of course, of Blue Skies.
First Susan Rattan from LA Law, and now Nancy Fishback, this year's Klondike Kate. I am falling in love many times over. Oh. Nancy, how are you tonight?
I am super, thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Don't tell the people of St. Paul it's too cold for a parade, huh? A lot of brave, bundled up people with big smiles.
You betcha. That's what St. Paul's all about.
You bet. Tell us a little bit about the Klondike Casino, sponsored by Coors Beer.
The casino is also sponsored by the St. Paul JCs, and we have a bunch of gals that have been Kates in previous years, and we come down and we sing, and we have a great time. Everybody gambles. It's like Vegas.
Oh, my gosh.
Just like Vegas.
We want to mention, too, Klondike Kate, of course, sponsored by the St. Paul JCs. Would you give me a hug?
I would love to.
My wife's out of town. I can get away with that.
What a guy. What a guy.
Oh, I needed that, too. Paul and I will see you sometime about 2 hours from now.
Hey, boy, he gets all the good deals, doesn't he?
He really does. He really does.
I think we're going to go away for a break now, but stay with us because our parade coverage continues in just a moment.
Come along and listen to the music. Open up your heart and lend an ear, you'll hear it. Come along and listen to the sounds of Tennessee. From country stars and city lights, down home days and uptown nights, history and harmony, they're all here in Tennessee. Tennessee sounds great to me. Tennessee sounds great.
You've noticed it before. Something missing in your margarine. Taste, flavor, richness. Now Land O'Lakes has found what you've been missing. The taste of sweet cream. In Land O'Lakes bread with sweet cream. Just enough sweet cream to make it sweet, creamy, buttery, yet it has almost no cholesterol. Land O'Lakes bread with sweet cream. The taste you've been missing.
Don't leave the room. Our reputation is at stake because we're doing something you wouldn't expect. Something new, something fresh, something exciting. Wrapped up the way you like it. We're putting our reputation at stake, and things are beginning to sizzle. New steak fajitas. Think of it as a Mexican steak sandwich.
Are fluctuating interest rates keeping you out of your new home? Fix them with a new home from Gardner Brother Homes. Gardner Brother Homes offers FHA, VA, 8 3/8, 30-year fixed-rate mortgages to qualified first-time home buyers at a monthly payment that fits your budget. And of course, a quality-built home that fits all your living needs. A home from Gardner Brothers offers you the style you want, the space you need, and the financing you can afford. Get an interest rate you can handle from Gardner Brother Homes.
Building your future today.
Stroh's East Winds won the Volcanus Rex Award as the most outstanding float in the parade. There it goes. It's beautiful. It evokes visions of Aladdin and the Arabic world of old with a beautiful Moorish castle, topped by towers with golden domes. Eye-catching pastel colors and spectacular lighting make the East Winds float one of this year's glitziest entries. The float was designed by Kip Ferris at the Float Works. Riding on the East Winds float are former East Wind representative princesses, including Bill Godwin, Gary Berggren, Susan McGrath, Bob Sneen, Paula Reynolds, and others.
Let's go down to Paul Douglas right now.
Yeah, let's see who's riding on these unicycles down here right now.
Mage, I've seen you do this.
Well, you know, I do that in my driveway on occasion.
Yeah.
I think my husband's down there doing that.
In your dreams. We have enough trouble with the two-wheeled variety here. I'm here with Jim Bernard, and he's from the Unicycle Club of the Twin Cities. Jim, how tough is it to learn how to do this?
Well, it's very difficult, Paul. I've never learned it myself. I just walk with the kids.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm not a unicyclist. I'm just a walker, but it's very difficult.
You know, I think Paul ought to give that a shot.
It's 2 or 3 months to learn.
They're juggling torches as they go.
Paul, you take your trick.
That's another skill that's very, very difficult.
Hey,
Sorry, Paul, say again?
Why don't you either try the unicycle or try the juggling the torches?
I'm going to try the donut eating, okay?
Oh, well, that's coming up later, huh?
Nothing routine about these folks, and they're doing a great job tonight, despite the 15 below wind chills.
Yeah, I hear a nice band right now.
I do too. Our next band comes at us from a couple of different directions. They're from southern Minnesota, but their music is from the east, the far east. They're the Osmond Temple Austin Shrine Oriental Band, and their costumes are bright and colorful. In storybook style of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. They're wearing satin pants in a variety of colors. The green embroidered vest, the shrine fez, and of course gold pearl toe boots. And I bet underneath all of that is long johns.
Has to be.
Underneath maybe long johns, but following are the Shrine Clowns. This is a group of 10 to 12 Shriners who love to make people laugh. They appear at parades, hospitals, nursing homes, and children's homes.
Now we like to say that they're sponsored by the St. Paul Company.
They're going to be at the Shrine Circus this year, and it takes place this year at St. Paul Civic Center on April 6th through the 10th. Don Fackler, who's better known as Rucky the Clown, is the president of the Osmond Shrine Clowns.
Now, have you ever done any clowning around on Broadway or in movies or in TV or anything? Well, Peter Pan isn't a clown, but that had to be a lot of fun. It had to feel like being a clown almost.
Huh?
Being Peter Pan had to be a lot of fun, almost.
It was a lot of fun. It was enormous fun, but I've never been a clown. Nope.
And I don't think I ever want to be a clown in a winter carnival parade either.
I could pick a better place, yeah.
Yeah, Los Angeles at 9 noon. With that, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for the only family wagon that gives you front-wheel drive, an available overhead cam fuel-injected V6, a choice of long or short wheelbase, and an unbeatable 770 protection plan, then look no further. It's gotta be the best-selling family wagon in the world, the unequaled Dodge Caravan.
With prices starting as low as $10,887, you've got to see your local Dodge dealer.
Of all the reasons why American farmers take care of the land, one stands apart. One reason why farmers till the earth in ways that conserve precious topsoil. One reason why farmers plant the right crops in the right fields. Because today, the American farmer knows his land will someday be his land. This message brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of Dual Herbicide.
Why not try something revolutionary for lunch? Ground beef, lettuce, cheese, and a little imagination. Introducing the new Soft Taco Supreme from Taco Bell. All your favorites, plus tomatoes and sour cream on something better than a bun. Look, you can try something different or become another statistic. The new Soft Taco Supreme.
Hello, Taco Bell.
Convenience stores are popping up everywhere, and they all seem to be alike, small and limited, except one, Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb has more than other convenience stores, so you can pick up almost anything. How does that make the other guys feel? Downright embarrassed.
Get a 12-pack of Coke products or Sprite for just $2.99. Delicious Bernatello's Pizza, $2.89. And Deli Express Chuck Wagon sandwiches, 2 for $1 this week at Tom Thumb.
Take a look at that right there, and if you get hungry, it's no wonder. That's the log cabin syrup float right there. Now, when you go to put syrup on your pancakes, some of you, or a lot of you, in fact, most of you may reach for the old log cabin syrup. But did you know that 100 years ago, get this, a Northeast Minneapolis grocer by the name of Tal formulated that syrup. He named it Log Cabin in honor of his boyhood hero, Abraham Lincoln.
I did not know that.
Mr. Tal manufactured the product for 40 years before selling it to the General Foods Corporation.
Now let's go down to Paul Douglas, who has another familiar face right next to him there.
I recognize that guy.
I sure am.
This is Victor French.
From Highway to Heaven.
I think Paul's trying to catch up to him. Ron, he's just driving right away. Well,
Victor made it all up on his own.
yeah, he's known from Highway to Heaven. He's also known as the ex-cop Mark Gordon on the Highway to Heaven series. He describes his character on the show as something of a learning course for Jonathan, the angel on probation, of course.
Now, Sandy, do you know Victor?
We worked together 20 years ago. I hate to admit it.
How old
We
are
did
you?
a bonanza. I'm 42. You tricked me!
Did you do a Bonanza episode?
Yeah, 20 years ago with
Who
Victor.
did you play on Bonanza? As we
I
take a
played
look
this
at the
girl
city
that
of
broke
Rochester
boards
float.
with her head. I don't want to talk about it.
Now, people, the key to this float is described as a people float from Rochester, Minnesota, and it's here with us tonight, and some of their city officials are on the float, including Mayor Chuck Hazema with his wife Allie, Council President Dick Postier and his wife Sheila, City Council member Pete Solinger and his wife Marilyn are also on board. Pete designed and built this float, along with other Rochester volunteers. Now, the city of skyline of Rochester is depicted in the backdrop. Let's listen to this a little bit.
Yeah, they sound good.
On a night like tonight.
Yep.
Little of that Mississippi River sound right there.
Now she's holding a sign that says it's the Turkey River All-Stars. That's the group that we're listening to.
And what do we have there?
Well, we're looking at the regal equestrian salute to King Boreas and his court. This procession of precision riders is from the Windy Ridge Riders Horse Club of Woodbury, Minnesota. Performing in tonight's parade are 8 horses and riders who range in age from 12 to over 40, but not quite 50. The Windy Ridge Riders claim that horseback riding keeps everyone thinking, feeling, and looking young, as we think this group demonstrates. To get horses to do that on a cold night takes some pretty
Now see, they've
good
even got
equestrian.
their ankles wrapped up.
Yes. It's interesting to note that these horses are strictly outdoor animals, surviving Minnesota's winter out in their pasture. They only come inside when the temperature is below -20 degrees or when they're fed grain or ridden. Most of them are Appaloosas.
As we take a good look at Rice Park right there, the St. Paul Public Library in the background. Let's take a short break, and we'll come right back.
Insane! My audio and video prices are so low, no one can go lower.
At Appliance Warehouse, our prices are almost close to wholesale. You can't do better than that.
No matter what they claim,
The competition's gunning for me because I got the best stereo prices in town.
just remember the asterisk, because nobody but nobody sells for less than Highland.
Come and see good value homes.
What is a good value? Communities and locations we know meet the needs of your busy lifestyle. A good value is affordable new homes with good value homes below market financing. A good value is thoughtfully designed floor plans and a wide range of interior choices. Now that's a good value. Come and see Good Value Homes. You'll see why our middle name says it all.
Hello, small change, kinda short. Taco Bell is just your sort.
Did you know that for only 99 cents or less, you can get nachos, burritos, tacos, lots of great tasting food, and only at Taco Bell. So if you've got some small change just lying around, there's only one real choice.
Hello, Taco Bell.
Sooner or later, keeping the old car running just isn't worth it. Not when Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers are offering up to $1,000 cash back on select imports and savings of hundreds more on specially equipped models. On Colt hatchbacks, Vista wagons, Ram 50 pickups, and Conquest TSIs. So instead of this, see your Chrysler, Plymouth, or Dodge dealers before these great import deals expire.
Welcome back to KARE TV's official telecast of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade.
And let us welcome you back once again. Having a nice time up here. You doing all right?
We're keeping Toasty warm.
How are you doing, Sandy?
Doing fine.
Well, you guys are looking good. These two aren't even sniffing. I'm the one that I have the Kleenex. I have everything in my pockets. I'll tell you, there's really a lot of excitement down on the street right now.
Let's go find Paul Douglas right now with a bunch of bouncing people.
Take a look at this.
This is the hard way to launch somebody into orbit. Check this out. This is the St. Paul Athletic Club blanket toss. 18 to 22 people, 3 women taking turns. Watch this. This is a tradition that dates back to 1887. Thank you, folks. Stay warm. I'm sure they will. Paul, Di, Sandy?
We could try that at work here, Doug. Try that at work on Monday. You game for it?
Huh?
You game for that on Monday?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
I'll do anything on a dare.
For the backyard. Well, coming up is a float from the Great Minnesota Get-Together, the Minnesota State Fair. Amy Polakowski is this year's Princess Gay of the Milky Way, and she's joined on the float by State Fair mascots Fairchild and Fairborn. The float itself is a miniature version of the fairgrounds, complete with the elements of the Midway, Machinery Hill, and of course, some of the snacks that everyone loves. And of course, I'm talking about mini donuts, cheese curds, Pronto puffs, the malts, etc.
Now, have you ever noticed how schools often have tough nicknames for their athletic teams and bands, like the Bears, the Wildcats Alliance? Well, get ready for another one. Here comes the Fightin' Broncos Marching Band from Brady High School in West St. Paul. They're not named the Pretzels. They're not named the Orphans. They are the Brady High School Fightin' Broncos. Their director is Rufino Okoheda. And this 73-member group is dressed in smart-looking Corps-style uniforms. Their colors are black with red cummerbunds and white Aussie hats. And they are a good-looking marching unit. Preceding the band right there. Tough to hang on to those flags on a night like tonight, don't you think?
Sure do. Because they're creating even more wind around them.
Now they are sponsored by Northwest Airlines.
It's quite a big sound coming from those 73 musicians.
That's a look of concentration.
Now, just to let you in on a secret here, folks, this is one of those bands that decided not to play their instruments because of the cold weather, and what you're hearing is a tape recording that we got from them earlier in the week.
And that was certainly an option in weather like this for these band members.
And I certainly don't blame them all.
As Sandy found out earlier, mighty cold to be putting your lips up to the mouthpiece of a trumpet.
Unless you want to leave it there for life. Oh, wow.
Coming up next, River Boat Days, and they come back to life with a charming paddleboat float built by the St. Paul Yacht Club members in about 1,000 hours. Now, it's a real crowd pleaser, especially when the hinge stacks and pilot house are lowered at the last minute to fit under skyways or other low clearances. Now, we've got plenty of skyline here, so we won't see that happening, but we've been in another parade where we've seen them go up and down. Now, riding on the Yacht Club are Commodore Robert Jones and his wife Marge, and other club members as well.
And you can see just how large that float is as you take a look at the Landmark Center right there. As we take a look at that, we want to remind you that we're coming back for more coverage of the 1988 Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade. We'll be right back, everyone. Don't go away.
So what's it gonna be for lunch?
Make it a burrito any way you want it. At Taco Bell, there are 4 ways to get your fill. From our bean burrito to the double beef burrito supreme, you can have a lunch that leaves you empty or burritos that fill you up. So what's it gonna be?
Hello, Taco Bell.
I like honesty, not hype. And I like pure and simple, not artificial. So why would I settle for anything less than Treetop? You know, not all fruit juices are 100% pure. Treetop is. 100%. No added sugar, nothing artificial. Just apples and other real fruit in 5 new flavors. So read the label on those other juices. You'll see why I like Treetop.
New Treetop fruit juices. We always give you 100%.
Are fluctuating interest rates keeping you out of your new home? Fix them with a new home from Gardner Brother Homes. Gardner Brother Homes offers FHA, VA, 8 3/8, 30-year fixed-rate mortgages to qualified first-time home buyers at a monthly payment that fits your budget. And of course, a quality-built home that fits all your living needs. A home from Gardner Brothers offers you the style you want, the space you need, and the financing you can afford. Get an interest rate you can handle from Gardner Brother Homes.
Building your future today.
What's the secret to Pop Secret microwave popcorn? Perfect popcorn popped under perfect conditions. Pop Secret's special new corn pops lighter and fluffier with fewer unpopped kernels than ever. Pop Secret from Betty Crocker. It's the only way to pop.
Our parade coverage continues with the Taco Bell West Winds float. It brings alive our Legends of the West.
You can hear some of those guns going off.
You bet.
I think some of those guys must recognize me.
Well, you'd better run for cover then.
Oh.
Now, it's a desert-style setting, and it has an eagle complete with cactus and corral fencing, and the riders on the float are some former West Winds.
Right now, Paul Douglas is down on the street with a guest. Let's go down to him. Has something to do with Taco Bell, I suspect.
You can call me anything you want, Paul.
I know. You know, we should tell people at home. I always call you Doug. That's my nickname for you. And I've done that a couple times tonight.
I have other nicknames we can't go into tonight.
That's true.
I'm happy. No body parts have fallen off yet. It's not so bad down here. I'm with Barb Schneider. She's regional manager for Taco Bell, one of the major sponsors of this year's Torchlight Parade. Barb, thank you for making this all possible.
Well, Paul, thank you very much. Taco Bell is very pleased to be a part of this community, and we believe that this parade provides exceptional family opportunities. And our family of restaurant managers and crew members are happy to be a part of it, and we hope you're enjoying it at home. And
I'm sure they're enjoying it at home. I'm sure they are. We hope they are. They have the best seat in the house. Paul and I, Sandy?
Yeah, right behind you. Turn around and look, Paul. There's something I think you might know if you have kids. Smurfs Up. Here come those little blue people who become the darlings of NBC's Saturday morning lineup. There's Papa Smurf and Smurfette, and it's a whole cast of imaginative characters, including Brainy Smurf, Clumsy Smurf, Jokey, Snappy, and Vanity Smurf. And don't forget favorites like Hefty, Handy, and Grouchy Smurf.
Now, right behind there is our next float. It's sponsored by the 3M Company of Minnesota, and there's a special story behind it. The float was actually constructed by 3M employees, members of the 3M Club, who donated a lot of time and effort for a beautiful cause. The float itself depicts the conflict between Boreas and Vulcanus Rex, and they're represented by figures which rotate in and out of the ice castle at the front of the float. Now, the winds of Boreas come from the back of the float, blowing over a small-scale version of the city of St. Paul and the castle, keeping the flames and heat of Vulcan at bay. And we have some royalty riding on that float as well.
We do. Next, we have Captain Ken's Firehouse Beans. And Sandy, you know something about this.
I happen to know that it's a beautifully restored horse-drawn hook and ladder. And riding in the unit are Captain Ken, founder and owner of Captain Ken's Foods Incorporated, John Kenny, vice president of St. Paul-based company, and driver Mike Miller. The hook and ladder was built in 1889 by the W.T.Y. Shank Company. It was manufactured and used in San Francisco at the turn of the century and has now been fully restored. The rig is pulled by 3 white horses named Katie, Lady, and Lassie.
Hey, did either of you ever want to run away with a circus?
No, did you?
I wanted to go watch it on a few occasions.
Yeah, I never really wanted to run away to one. And you know, we don't have to run away with a circus tonight because the circus float is coming to us. The theme of this float from Circus Family Restaurants and Entertainment Centers is a circus caravan. Now, riding with the circus are Bumper the Circus Clown, Wally the Walrus, and assorted circus fans. As you can see, the float has a big birthday cake on there, and an ice cream sundae, and a giant calorie counter. No calorie counter.
You guys really do it up here.
You bet.
You bet. No holding back.
Now then, Diana, do you want to introduce this next character to Sandy?
Absolutely. He may be cold on the outside, but he's got a very warm heart, and we've seen him at a lot of parades with the kids. They just love him. This is Lord Loon.
That is Lord Loon. Absolutely. Now, Sandy, he makes appearances all over 11 countries, shaking hands at festivals and picnics, walking in parades, even riding in parades like tonight. And his message is clear. He loves everybody. In particular, Lord Loon loves kids, and kids really seem to love Lord Loon.
That's terrific.
Absolutely.
I wish my kids were here.
As we take a look at Lord Loon's head bobbing around there, let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back with more of the 1988 St. Paul Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade.
You've noticed it before. Something missing in your margarine. Taste, flavor, richness. Now Land O'Lakes has found what you've been missing. The taste of sweet cream. In Land O'Lakes spread with sweet cream. Just enough sweet cream to make it sweet, creamy, buttery, yet it has almost no cholesterol. Land O'Lakes spread with sweet cream. The taste you've been missing.
Don't leave the room. Our reputation is at stake because we're doing something you wouldn't expect. Something new, something fresh, something exciting. Wrapped up the way you like it. We're putting our reputation at stake, and things are beginning to sizzle. New steak fajitas. Think of it as a Mexican steak sandwich.
When you want to go from freewheeling to 4x4 fun, Chevy S10 lets you do what Ford and Toyota can't. Shift and keep right on going with standard InstaTrack. Plus, get new lower prices on most S10s and $500 cash back.
Chevy S10 today, Chevy truck.
Of all the reasons you come into a bank, maybe you've never come in for insurance, discount brokerage services, investments, or retirement planning. Or maybe you just never had someone open the options up to you. Come into your first bank. We'll show you how to draw more out of a bank than just money.
There, you're taking a look at the Winter Carnival button float as we come back to the 1988 St. Paul Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade. Now, one of the very special elements about the Winter Carnival is the Winter Carnival button. There's a different design each year, and they become very collectible items. Our next float is a beautiful tribute to the Winter Carnival buttons of past years. Good-sized reproductions that form in a border all around the edges of the float. It's a button collector's dream, this thing. This special button float is sponsored by someone, and when we find out, we'll pass that right on to you.
As soon as we find out, you bet.
Maybe it's sponsored by the Winter Carnival. Who knows?
It most likely is.
Well, riding on the float are some of Winter Carnival's former Fire Kings. You can see them right there.
Well, I tell
There's
you
a
what,
big wave.
and they don't look cold at all.
They're doing all right, aren't they?
You bet. Well, you know what? We just lost Sandy, but not for long. There she is. She was with us. Now she's down on the street. That's our very own Sandy Duncan with, of course, Valerie's family. You can see her on Monday, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. She returns to Valerie's family. She made her network television debut. She told us about it on Bonanza.
Yeah, and you know, we had the opportunity to spend the afternoon with Sandy and obviously to sit up here and commentate on the parade. She is truly a very pleasant person.
She's really a sweetheart.
Yeah, there is no...
Very nice, lovely lady.
No star stigma there at all.
Not
very,
at
very
all.
nice
She lives with her husband in Los Angeles and has 2 sons, Jeffrey and Mikey.
And hopefully she'll stay toasty as she rides through the parade.
We've got her all bundled up, so we hope she does, and we hope you enjoy it.
I'll tell you what, some excitement seems to be building in the street as once we begin, we hear the Herald Bugles. You can hear those things going off there. There they are again. Now, it looks as though they're no longer working for the King and Queen of the Carnival because, well, what's going on here, Diana? Right behind the Herald Bugles, you see on your screen there,
we're hearing lots of noise.
Is the Imperial Order of Fire and Brimstone. That, of course, the Vulcans.
Now we're seeing lots of red and coming down the street in a cloud of steam is the 1988 Vulcan crew. It seems that the throning of King Boreas is inevitable.
Well, we all knew it was inevitable. It had to come about at some point because spring and summer have to get here at some point. A lot of hoopla. These Vulcans know how to make noise. Now this is the kind of stuff they do at 4 a.m. here in St. Paul during the Winter Carnival.
Now, you know, the storming of the castle will be happening very soon. But for those of you who are at home now, won't be here to see it. At one point, we'll have a reenactment of the overthrowing of King Boreas.
They've got their signature fire trucks here lining Market Street right now. How many fire trucks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go up to a shot from up above, way up high on the building, looking down on Market Street, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. You can see all the fire trucks right there.
Well, I can count 6 in it. They still go back beyond the block.
I'll tell you what, they are really revving things up. Let's just watch some of the excitement here. And the Vulcans know how to make excitement. And of course, all their relatives. Now that certainly gets the crowd going. Of course, the Vulcans have never been selected for their quiet demeanor.
No.
They really do bring a lot of spirit to the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Somehow, whenever they come into a room, or in this case, the parade, you can hear them coming from blocks, miles away, it seems like.
Absolutely. And just so everybody at home knows, Vulcans are selected each year. They participate in the Winter Carnival activities for a 1-year period. And during the 10 days of the carnival, the gentlemen who are selected as Vulcans are given time off from work. So, if you're a St. Paul resident and you ever wanted to be a Vulcan and you needed some incentive, I think the 10 days off from work is probably pretty good incentive.
Now, they seem to be passing out things to the audience, and what they're doing is they're throwing out Vulcan coins. Of course, they're red coins, and they're commemorating the 1988 Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade.
I'll tell you what, as Di said, the storming of the castle will be happening very soon. But for those of you who are at home now and won't be here to see it, we've got a reenactment of the overthrow of King Boreas by Vulcanus, and it's coming to you right now. Watch this.
I am Vulcanus Rex, and I am the true king of this region.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
No, Boreas!
All hail the Vulcan! All hail the Vulcan!
Well, victorious Vulcanus Rex, it's inevitable. Winter does have to give way to the warmth of summer.
Eventually.
I guess we're on the downhill run now, aren't we, towards summer?
Has to be.
I think officially, when this thing ends like this, I think we're officially there.
Officially
Yeah,
there.
throw away
Even
the
though
calendar.
the temperatures aren't
Throw away
quite
the
there,
calendar. This
we're
means
officially
it.
there.
Well, this person sitting to my right here is Carlene Bonner. She is from Detroit. Now, you are the head judge of floats, correct?
For this parade, it was my honor to do that. And it was really quite a challenge because you had some beautiful floats in this parade this year.
Well, now tell us a little bit more about it. What was your impression of the parade?
Oh, I think this parade is really one of the outstanding parades in the country. When you give the fact that you're doing this at 50 below zero or whatever it is out here, it's a wonderful event. The floats were very well done. They were very creative. They were very well constructed. In that element of having the lights, that makes it very special, very exciting, and the crowd cheering. It was a very good parade. You should be proud here.
What was some of the criteria for the judging?
Well, two of the judges were builders themselves, myself and another judge, and so we looked very carefully. We crawled around those floats, even though it was pretty cold out there. And so we were looking a lot at the quality of the construction, the detail, how much detail the builders would put in it, were they well painted, what kind of materials did they use. For instance, the Pinata float won a lot of awards from us because they used fabric and they used foam and they used silk and they did wonderful, exciting stuff. And of course, Stroh's was the grand prize winner because of that great lighting job they did. They had with all the flashing.
Nice. And obviously the crowd seemed to enjoy all of them.
You bet.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come right back for the final moments of the 1988 St. Paul Winter Carnival Torchlight Parade.
All kinds of perms for all kinds of people at Cost Cutters. Now get a great looking perm for only $21.95. Perms just $21.95. Another reason people keep coming back to Cost Cutters. A limited time offer. Appointments recommended.
Celebrate the savings during Snyder's annual Price Chopper sale. See how much more you save at the Old Corner Drugstore. Save to $2.78 on Ruffy's trash bags. Regular $2.89 each. Now get 2 for $3 with coupon. Save up to 70 cents on Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion or Q-Tips Cotton Swabs. Just $1.69 each with coupon. Save 25% on all Sally Hansen nail care products. There's a large assortment to choose from. The Price Chopper sale, only at Snyder's, the Old Corner Drugstore, for today.
When Susie got sick, everyone was very concerned. But her mom took her to group health where she got the care she needed.
It's not too high, Susie.
She saw her own doctor.
Warm this up a little. Okay, Susie, open wide. Say ah.
She received expert medical attention from people who care.
Now this will clear up that infection.
And when Susie came home, her best friend was pretty happy. Group Health. Quality health care for life.
Sooner or later, keeping the old car running just isn't worth it. Not when Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers are offering up to $1,000 cash back on select imports and savings of hundreds more on specially equipped models. On cold hatchbacks, Vista wagons, Ram 50 pickups, and Conquest TSIs. So instead of this, see your Chrysler, Plymouth, or Dodge dealers before these great import deals expire.
Well, folks, so ends another annual seasonal struggle between Boreas and Volcanus Rex, and I think everybody knew how it was going to end.
That's right. The warmth is just right around the corner. It is.
Oh, is it really?
It's right down there someplace.
Well, I think we can attest for everybody who's been involved in our telecast tonight that we've had a lot of fun out here, particularly for our technical crew that's been out here for around a week. They know that spring is on the way.
That's right.
I'm sure they've been thinking about it all week, right?
Every day they've been thinking about it.
Absolutely. Well,
give them a lot of credit.
Well, for Diana, for Paul Douglas, and myself, and Sandy Duncan, who right now is riding along, braving the elements.
That's right.
We want to thank all of you for joining us tonight and sharing our parade coverage.
It really has been quite an evening, and I have to say, for the first time in a long time, my toes have been warm all night.
Now, that is a miracle. That is a miracle. Your hands are always cold, too. I'll tell you, thank you again for watching us, and be sure and join us again this summer when we bring you the Aquatennial Torchlight Parade. In the meantime, make sure, if you can, join us for News 11. We do appreciate it. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you again.
Good night.
Of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. Brought to you by your neighborhood Taco Bell restaurant. Hey, Twin Cities, say hello to Taco Bell. Lee's Stainmaster Carpet furnished by Dayton's, DuPont Carpet Fibers, and Lee's Carpets. Celebrity accommodations courtesy of the St. Paul Hotel. And now stay tuned for the Facts of Life, followed by 227, the Golden Girls, and then News 11 at 10.
Spring is only a few weeks away. But relief is only a phone call away. MLT Vacations, we deliver dreams.
I'm Connie Chung. Every day, NBC News and News 11 bring you a clear picture of our world, from breaking news to business news.
From sports and weather to features and interviews, we put the world of information at your fingertips. I'm Kevin McCall.
And I'm Joan Steffen. Join us weekends for News 11 and the NBC Nightly News on TV 11.
I went to the doctor for a routine physical and was told after everything was over that everything was fine except for this lump that he'd found in my breast. Sure enough, it was what I feared. And went into the hospital a couple days later and had a mastectomy. If someone had told me when I was starting the chemotherapy and starting, going through this whole thing, that I would do it and I would make it, I never would have believed it. There's so much of life for me, and there still is, I just have a lot of things to do yet. I did what I wasn't supposed to do. I lived, and I'm healthy, and it was a great feeling. And it's still a great feeling.
This is NBC, the network of Noble House.
Because of the subject matter, parents may wish to view tonight's episode of Facts of Life with their children.